It's just a movie.
One of the worst dates of my life.
See, Miley Stewart has been through a lot in these past couple seasons. Whether it be fame, family, friends, but a department she was really tortured in would be the dating pool. Yeah, it's been a rough road for Miley. She's been on dates with scaredy cats, cheaters, and people that are just genuinely bad people. We're gonna take out Jesse and Jake, the actual serious boyfriends, for a bit, and let's talk about the worst and best dates Miley has been on. What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, and we're gonna be going over Miley Stewart's worst and best dates. So one of the best is Corbin Bleu, who plays Johnny Collins. He's really nice and down to earth and a really good attraction for Miley. It's just funny that they always miss each other. Like in the pilot, they didn't quite work out. And then when he comes back at the end of season 2, he still doesn't work out. And she appears so selfish to him. Like going on a date with Rico, she just like disrespects him completely and ends up ruining the date herself. So it's so funny that like the guys that are actually more caring and considerate are super turned off by Miley's actions. It's like either one way or the other. One of the worst is Willis, who actually lies about his age. Turns out he's 12, dating a 14-year-old. Yeah, Miley didn't even know this. And it's so cringe because it's like, obviously he acts like a child, but is quote-unquote dating Miley, but this is like under false pretenses. This is not fair. You can't count this. Willis disrespected her and lied to her, so this doesn't count. But he was definitely one of the worst. Then we have Connor. Now this date went bad again because of Miley's selfishness. Apparently he was too short for her, and that became the plot of the entire episode. They actually go on a date, but everything reminds Miley that he is short, and for some reason that is a huge issue for her. But he's kind, considerate, and gives her presents, and it's just so beyond me that this isn't working out because he seems like a really good guy. Obviously he never comes back again after this because I guess he's just too short. Another one of the worst, I would say, is Austin Butler. See, I'm not even bothered to remember his name. Well, that and the fact that he's famously Elvis. Yeah, this is when Lily feels bad for bringing her date, so she gives Miley a date. And the guy is terrible. He's scared of movies and doesn't really take into consideration Miley. Already not a good experience. Then we have Trey. He's the guy with the super rich parents that Miley spots on the beach. And they call her like a hillbilly, which is really disrespectful. And while his parents are really rude, he is actually kind and considerate the entire time, trying to defend her and standing up to them as much as he can. Although he's still their son, so I don't know how you could actually date somebody with parents like that. The episode ends with them actually really getting along, and I don't know why this one doesn't go any further than it did. Like, I would love to have seen the dynamic between the parents and Miley continue on, but just being this one episode, I think it's interesting. But it wouldn't work out anyway because Trey's parents are just terrible, so it's fair. Oh, the worst one is the guy from season 1. His name is Josh, I believe. So this is the guy that didn't like Hannah Montana, forcing Miley to kind of jump between being in her concert and running to the date and running to sitting next to him. This is like the most outlandish plot. I mean, it's in season 1, it's establishing the main conflict of the show anyway, so it's not supposed to be a good date. And this guy's kind of a jerk the entire time. Like, I don't like the way he acts up until this point anyway, and he's just so effortlessly negative, so I don't think this was ever gonna work out, Miley. Don't worry about it though, because he is not worth it. Then we have Travis, which is a really nice and caring relationship that ends up not translating to the series at all. He's the cowboy that Miley grew up with and comes back into the movie, and just pretend he never existed. Like, it sucks because it's like they have a really genuine connection, and I feel like even though they have like a bad date, they never really get off to a horrible foot. Like, they could actually do well together. I have people commenting on this channel before saying that like she cheated on Jake Ryan in the movie, but they were not together at this point, just so you know. Like, this is before the Jake Ryan episode where she thinks he's marrying Tracy, which means they are not together. It's not until He Could Be the One, which is the 18th episode of the 3rd season, that this happens, and Travis has appeared in the movie, which quote-unquote takes place in between episodes 12 and 13. So yeah, Miley's not doing anything wrong here, and Travis is a genuine person, so I don't know why this couldn't have worked out. She didn't look like a jerk like she did in front of Johnny. He wasn't disrespectful like Josh. Ugh, but by far the worst is the fake date she hires in season 3. There's an episode where Lily and Oliver are trying to get Miley into a relationship, which is already a red flag as friends. Like, Miley doesn't need to be with somebody just to be happy, and she tries to say that too, but they're just so insistent that she does. She sees that Tracy, her famous friend, has a fake boyfriend that she pays to be her boyfriend, and she's like, that's a genius idea. And this is not the context of going on a date. And even though this isn't considered real, I had to consider it one of the top 10 because it's still a date technically. She ends up paying for her own date, who inevitably doesn't show up and is replaced with another guy named Ralphie. So Miley essentially has to tell Lily and Oliver that she's dating this guy and she really likes him. And it's funny because she's trying to put on a facade in front of her friends as opposed to putting a facade in her fame world, which I like that it translates to Miley's personal life. And this guy is like this Italian mobster asking for a bunch of stuff, and it's like, I don't know if any teenager acts like this, but hey, I could be wrong. When Miley tries to quote-unquote break up with him, he leans into the facade and takes a bunch of stuff from her house. So this date actually ends in robbery. Definitely one of the worst experiences with a guy for Miley, at least that we've seen. But yeah, that is definitely the worst date of all. And overall, Miley just doesn't have great luck with guys, whether it's them being turned off by her or her being turned off by them. It just seems like her and guys are just oil and water in the scenarios. But obviously that's for the best comedic effect, and we are just watching television. This is a teen show, of course it's just gonna be like this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my deep dive into Miley's traumatic relationships. If you haven't already, check out my retrospectives on the complete seasons of Hannah Montana, or any of my other Hannah videos. I really love making these for the channel, and they always perform well, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But what would you guys like to see more of in the future? Don't forget to leave a comment below, subscribe, like, whatever you gotta do. Until next time, if you guys are looking for your 2000s media nostalgia, come on down to Johnny 2000. Have a great day.